Questions. What if a soccer ball had to be plugged in before kickoff?
Every official match ball now carries a tiny computer system.
If that computer runs out of power mid-game, the data feed goes dark.
Today, we're heading inside the factory where this ball gets built.
To find out how a piece of sporting equipment became one of the legend. Adidas has supplied the official World Cup match ball since nations. For decades, that meant 32 stitched panels. That started changing in 2006 as Adidas pushed toward fins. By 2018, the Telstar 18 carried a chip too.
Now meet the Trionda, the official ball of the 20.
Hosted jointly by Canada, Mexico, and the United States for the first time. It took Adidas and FIFA 3.5 years of design.
The journey starts in Sialkot, Pakistan.
A city that produces roughly 70% of the world's soccer balls.
Inside the Forward Sports factory, massive a die-cutting machine, essentially a giant precision cookie cutter, stations. Or the 32 of decades past. Fewer. Each panel's surface gets a textured treatment afterward and help control airflow as the ball spins.
Engineers spent years in wind tunnels chasing this exact texture.
Earned a reputation for unpredictable knuckling flight at high speed.
A point where airflow suddenly shifts from smooth to turbulent.
Before the panels are sealed into a sphere, they're
Specialized presses apply the Trionda's swirling red. Hidden within the pattern are 3 small icons. A maple leaf, gold detailing traces the edges, a nod to the World Cup trophy itself. Printing happens on flat material because curved surface printing is far less precise. Technicians inspect every printed panel under bright lighting. Check a single flawed panel gets pulled and scrapped immediately. Because once panels are bonded together, there's no fixing a printing error after the fact. This is where the Trionda stops being just a ball. A precisely shaped compartment that will hold the ball's brain.
Unlike the 2022 ball, which mounted its sensor dead center using a suspension harness.
That creates a balance problem. So workers add small counterweight.
So the ball still flies true.
Did you fast enough to record the exact millisecond contact is made on a handball or an offside pass?
With panels printed and the sensor pocket built, it's time.
Workers position all 4 panels and the inflatable bladder inside, fusing the polyurethane edges into a single, seamless shell. This thermal bonding press has to be calibrated to the degree. The payoff is a ball that barely absorbs water, holds its shape under repeated.
Once bonded, the ball gets inflated to match pressure and
Inspectors check weight, which must land between 410 and 400, measured at thousands of points around the surface to confirm true roundness.
A rebound machine drops the ball 10 times from 2 meters onto a. Separate tests measure water absorption and confirm the ball won't. Only after passing every single test does a ball earn the FIFA Quality Pro mark. The only certification allowed for actual World Cup matches. Not just one perfect prototype, to guarantee every match ball performs identically.
Everyone assumes the trophy lifted at the end of every.
But here's the catch. If that trophy really were solid 18-karat.
No player, no matter how strong, could hoist that over their head.
The answer is sitting inside a small, pink-walled factory every 4 years since 1974.
The World Cup hasn't always used this trophy.
Stolen once in 1966, right before the tournament kicked off in England.
And famously found a week later by a dog named Pickles. The second theft, in Brazil in 1983, was never.
After Brazil's third championship in 1970,
features. Italian sculptor Silvio Gazzaniga's concept beat out 50s.
His design became the trophy we know today.
And it's been built by the same family-run company.
Every trophy GDE Bertoni produces. This is where the trophy actually starts to look like a trophy, roughing out the basic silhouette of the 2 athletes and the globe.
Great. Then the real artistry begins.
And refine every muscle line, every fold, every
No machine touches this stage. It contains a sense of two athletes caught at the exact instant of victory.
So craftsmen work slowly, checking their progress constantly against. Some have worked exclusively in this department for over 2 decades. Now the trophy gets its glow. Workers submerge that bonds a microscopically thin layer of real gold onto the balls. The trophy passes through the plating bath multiple times to build up through celebrations, photo shoots, and tours for years afterward. At the end of the gilding bath, the trophy is carefully washed in distilled water. The trophy's signature touch goes on. 2 malachites framing the engraved inscription, FIFA World Cup, in striking contrast against the gold. Finally, a clear protective coating called Zap-On varnish and guarding the gold layer against tarnishing or scratches.
The trophy's journey doesn't end when it leaves the factory. A removable plate on the underside of the base sits blank. As soon as the championship match concludes, that plate
then attached to the trophy just before it's handed to the captain in front of a global television. After the celebrations end, the original gold trophy goes.
A country's name etched into the same design that's on.
Why does building a single stadium screen take up to 2 years?
At World Cup 2026 venues across the US, Canada, and
Replaying goals in an instant and turning 60, 70.
They're some of the most complex display systems ever engineered, and a decadal non-stop use without a single dead pixel. Today we're stepping inside the factory floor where these giant cheering screens come to life. The company behind many of the screens lighting up American stadiums this World Cup.
Founded in 1968 in Brookings, South Dakota. What began making simple scoreboards has grown.
And over 1,300 college programs. Daktronics has built a relationship with the team since the stadium opened.
And today the venue holds 47 separate Daktronics.
Across the tournament, 16 host stadiums.
They drive crowd energy directly, syncing replays, fans.
Before a single LED gets soldered, engineers spend weeks. CAD drawings and electrical schematics map out exact. One of the biggest decisions is pixel pitch. A screen meant to be viewed from the cheap seats.
But a display mounted close to premium seating needs LED
instead of a smooth image. Why does this matter so much? Because getting pixel pitch wrong means either wasting money on resolution nobody can perceive, or building a screen that looks blurry and pixelated to thousands of fans paying.
A single large stadium video board can contain more than 10 times the pixel count of a typical home television.
A home TV only has to survive your living room. Inside the factory, bare circuit boards roll beneath with roughly 98.5% placement accuracy. These machines work far faster and more precisely than any human while maintaining microscopic alignment tolerances. Each board will eventually become one module, a building block. To form the finished screen, why use 3 separate colored chips per pixel instead of 1? Because red, green, and blue light, blended in different intensities through
everything from the deep green of the pitch to the bright gold.
Once the LED chips are placed, the boards pass through rest. The heating happens gradually, ramping up just a few degrees,
or warp the board entirely.
As the boards cool, the molten solder hardens into a durable and electrical current without failing. Where high-resolution cameras and AI-driven software scan every catching microscopic defects invisible to the human eye before a board. In the final stage, calibrated modules get mounted into a real concern for screens mounted dozens of feet in the air above an open stadium bowl. Power supplies, cooling fans, and control coils get wired. Some cabinets also go through thermal cycling, swinging between extreme colds. Only after passing every test does the cabinet ship out. Why does all of this take up to 2 years from first sketch to final installation?
Because a television in your living room only has to survive your couch.
Every single time.
So what does it mean when a soccer ball has a computer inside?
From Pakistan to Italy to South Dakota, thousands.